Hey guys. Oh God. What is happening up here? Hi. Okay. I don't know what's going on top of my head right now. Hello, hello. Hi, Jacques, Des, Tana, Maddie. Made it. So happy. Sammy, hi. Chet, Yes, there will be trivia. Yes. It's already a lot of people here, so we can already start the game. Hi, Loch Ness. Welcome. There's already enough people here to start the game immediately. All right, let's warm up. Okay, went back to a game that we've done before a while back. So I have 5 covers of classic horror novels, or what most people consider classic horror novels. And I've edited out the author and the title, and I'm going to have you guess by the book cover art what the book is. Hi, Mindy. Catherine, hi. Hi, Susan. All right, so that's our game. Let's go ahead and get started, and then we can get right into the cabin at the end of the world. All right, except there it is. Okay. Where is the game? Okay, first book cover. Boom. What is this? What book? Name that book. Oh, Jacques, I saw you first. Oh my God, I got to be quicker on this. You're right. That is Carmilla. Good job. That's fast. Love that. Love that for you. Good job. Yes, that was Carmilla. Okay, let me write you down. It's prepared. I like to think I did these in order of difficulty. So we'll see. Okay, next one. We have 5 though. Don't worry. There's lots of chances to get points here. Here's the next one. What book? I don't know how generous I'm feeling, Sammy. Oh, Maddie. I see Maddie first. You are correct. That is The Haunting of Hill House. I could not get that image again. Sorry, I had to steal somebody's image from the internet. Apologies, person of the internet whose picture I stole this from. You are correct. That is The Haunting of Hill House. I love that edition. I want that edition really bad. Make sure I get your full username just in case we have doubles. Never seen. I love that cover. I want that cover a lot. Hi, Colleen. We are right in the middle of the game here. So you got some chance to get some points, even though you just popped in. All right. Next one. This one might be a little tricksy. What book? Oh, I came prepared with tea today, but I might drink it all before the live is over. Not Krampus, no. Not Tommy Knockers, no. Not A Christmas Carol. It's not Citizen Kane. Focus less on the fact that it's in a globe and maybe more on think of a winter horror classic that's set. Yeah, I was gonna say set in winter, but I just said winter horror classic. Has nothing to do with Phantasm. The Horla? No. They made a movie out of it. I don't know if that's helpful. I might be able to come up, maybe tell you what year the movie came out. Hold on. Remember what year the movie came out. Not that one. 1981. The movie adaptation of this book came out in 1981. It is not The Shining, not The Turn of the Screw, not A Christmas Carol, not The Lodge, not Misery. Oh man. The internet says this is a horror classic. I don't know. What other hints can I give? Black Christmas? No. Oh, I see Jacques. Okay. Jacques got it. I see you. You are correct. It is Ghost Story. Hold on. The picture is going to look a little crazy for this one. Sorry. I couldn't load the other image that I use. It just would not load on here. But it is Ghost Story by Peter Straub. I take it maybe nobody here has read it, or you just didn't realize the cover. It's a pretty good book. I'm not gonna lie. The movie was a little too trixies for us. That is the only Peter Straub I've ever read. No, the game is not over. I have 2 more book covers, Marielle. Okay, well, the internet says it's a horror classic. Oh, okay. Not that the internet is right all the time. I also have a different cover, yeah. I do like that one, though. I like that one. I'm not sure what edition that is of that, but yeah, I got 2 more, Marielle. Don't worry. All right, here is number 4. Name that book. It's more niche. Oh, okay. Name this book. Ugh. What do you guys got? Oh, wow. Okay, Maddie's came in first for me. But you are correct. That is Frankenstein. It's like it all clicked for you at one time. Wow. I never know if that means you guys all got it at once or YouTube was like just panicked because everybody was so close together. And so it like pauses for a second and then everybody's comment drops in all at one time. Crazy. Okay, I got one more. One more for you guys. All right, last one. What book is this one? Remember, you are on lag. Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about the comments, the way the comments pop in. Because I'm watching it to see who gets it first, and then it's literally like it's nothing, and then bam, they all come in at one time. Whoa. Okay, Jacques and Maddie are battling it out this time. I saw Jacques first. You were correct. That was Turn of the Screw. I think somebody guessed that for the snow one. But yeah, that was The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. Good job. Dang, Jacques and Maddie dominated that one. So next stream I do, you guys, your points will be up on the gore board here. This is what we have so far. Filling out already. I can't remember if I started the gore board last year in January or if I started it like middle of the year. It'll be interesting to see how chaotic this gets because we're only at the beginning of February right now, guys. In case you didn't know. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. It's Kimberly with her funny answers. They're making that into a movie this year, I think. Gore board. Love it. Obsessed. The gore board. That's a coveted place, I think. I don't know. Okay. Wow. All right. I'm glad everybody's here. We're all warmed up now. Time to talk about our January pick. I really should have looked up an update. I'll have to add a link in the description for this live for after the fact. But we are talking about the Cabin at the End of the World. I did mention this in my Instagram post for this at the beginning of the month. This is the only HarperCollins imprint book that we're reading so far. And the workers for HarperCollins are still on strike unless something changed today and I just haven't seen the news about it. So they did just ask to refrain from like reviewing books that are printed by HarperCollins. And if you talk about it on social media, make sure you mention that they're on strike right now. So, but for anybody watching this after the fact, there'll be a link in the description where you can go to learn more about that. Glad the trivia wasn't who said that. Would have been so mean. Just do the whole game. Like, was it Eric or Andrew? That would have been horrendously mean. I'm gonna lock that away for next time though. Usually avoid HarperCollins, yeah. Yeah, unless something changed today. I believe they're still on strike. There was news a couple of days ago that HarperCollins agreed to talk with the union though, but I don't know what has come of that talk yet. So fingers crossed it's good stuff. But yeah, just thought I would mention that really quick. But yeah, so hopefully everybody here has read it. I have not seen the movie yet. I know it just came out. I had a crazy weekend though. Normally this would be something like I'd go see like opening night so that I don't have to avoid spoilers on the internet because I assume it's going to be a little bit different from the book. I would be very surprised to go in. I have tickets for this week, but I'd be surprised if we go in and it's exactly like the book. You just saw the movie? Oh, yeah, Leah. Don't spoil. Don't spoil. I hope you liked it though. You want to drop your spoiler-free thoughts, like which one was better, the book or the movie? That's usually safe. Oh, sorry. Oh, you also saw the movie today, Loch Ness. Nice. Top 5 horror books for you. Ooh, okay. Dang, you're seeing it tonight after the stream. Nice. Nice. I love that. Yeah, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna see it on Tuesday, I think. Heard the movie looks great. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. Everyone's like, at least tell me if you like the movie or not. Movie had a fantastic cast. Yeah, looked good from the trailers. Anyone who's seen the movie, if you want to give us like a thumbs up of approval or a thumbs down if we didn't like it for Marielle. And hopefully everybody here read the book. If not, you're definitely going to get spoilers. And I don't know how that will affect your viewing of the movie, just a forewarning. Because I don't know what exactly is going to be similar and what exactly is going to be different from the book. I did hear that. I've heard that from a few places. The movie was still shocking, even though you knew what was going to happen in the book. So that's good. That means I feel like they maybe changed enough to keep it interesting. Always end up liking the book better. That's always the case, isn't it? Most of the time. Aw, that's cute. That is cute. Okay. Well, just to be safe, we can stop movie talk for now. Let's talk about the book. Let's talk about The Cabin at the End of the World. by Paul Tremblay. This is the one and only Paul Tremblay book I've ever read so far. I hadn't read one up until this point. So I don't know how this compares to his other, but I feel like it's his most popular for sure. Maybe that and A Head Full of Ghosts, probably the two bestsellers, at least at my store, for his. So I'd love to know your guys' initial thoughts of the book just to kick it off. Like, what did we think? Like the book, I know Colleen said it was like in her top 5 horror books ever, I think. You said it a while ago. Yeah. Read this one in Survivor Song. Okay, yeah. Ooh, found the book very meh. Okay. Oh, Head Full of Ghosts is better. I heard that one had a divisive ending also. Love this book. One of your faves? Oh, okay. Book gave me Funny Games vibes. I guess kind of, yeah. Although I feel like at parts, like Funny Games was way more brutal than this. And maybe just because I'm desensitized. Maddie loved it. Also loved it. So disturbing. Absolutely obsessed from the first chapter. Ooh, okay. Head Full of Ghosts is in your top 5 also. Oh, okay. I may have to read that one next. Not a big fan of where the ending left me. I mean, if you guys want to, we can jump right into the ending since you guys mentioned it. You guys said the magic words. What did we think of the ending? Let's just get right. It's like a Does This Offend You episode. We're like, let's just talk right about the ending. Let's just jump right into it. How did we feel about the ending? How did you feel about it? How, the way it ended? What is your interpretation of the ending? What do you think happens? Love the book, but the ending let you down a little. Okay. It is. I kind of like skimmed through like Reddit discussions about it and different book discussion groups about it, and it seems very divisive. People either were really not a fan of the endings, it's so open-ended, or they like it, or it's, depressing ending. Yeah, about like from chapter 5 on, I think it was just really sad the whole time. Wasn't a fan of the end. Okay. Yeah, see, it's the same in here too. It's yeah, 50-50. Love the ending. Thought it was perfect. I don't think knowing if the world ends at the end matters. Interesting. I'll read through some of your guys' stuff and then I have a quote here. It is in the doc. I don't know how it shows up. Oh, it literally is like pinned to the top. I pinned the link for the Creepy Book Club Google Doc at the top. I'm going to try and get better at filling that out much more beforehand. But if you have the link, and I'm only ever going to put it here, I'm not going to share it on my social media. I don't want everybody coming in to edit it. But if you have the link, you can edit in there. So in the little discussion area, you can add stuff that you want to make sure gets discussed during the live stream, or if you find any cool articles about the book we're reading or quotes or anything like that, you can drop it in there to make sure that we can all see it and we can discuss it during the live stream. So that is pinned at the top. And there, I did write down a quote from Paul Tremblay that's in there about the ending, which we'll talk about here. Like that the ending left you hanging. I typically tend to like those endings too. Like if a book ends that way, I don't usually dislike it. Of course, it's like I would like to know, but that's like part of the fun is like, oh, I want to know so bad, and then I can kind of just make my own determination. Yeah, I usually tend to not mind. Issues are very specific to you. My kids are adopted from China. Oh, and the whole thing felt very icky and sacrificial. We'll get into Wen's death. I have feelings about the way it happened, and thought the ending was absolutely perfect. I think knowing for sure if it was real or not would have been against the entire point. My headcanon was that Eric and Andrew were murder-suicide. I've seen a couple people mention that, how in other discussion groups, that they would have preferred if it ended that way. Like in this, like, so it would have been like in the sense that it doesn't matter to them anymore if the world ends or not, because their world has effectively ended already. I think that could have made sense. I felt like that's where the ending was going before it actually ended. Like I was prepared for that. Really hard to decide whether you should read this or not. If you read it knowing that you're not going to know what happens at the end, that'll be interesting. If you do end up reading it, Marielle, knowing that you're not going to know, I'd love to hear if that affects your reading of the book, from the beginning. Don't think it matters what actually happened, and Eric and Andrew's decision to go on is what matters. Yeah. Let me read the quote directly. So Paul Tremblay said about the ending, quote, "My defiant hope for you is that this book ultimately becomes about the choice Eric and Andrew make, and not whether the world is actually ending. I mean, shit." Oh, I misspelled that though. I mean, shit. Their world has already shattered, don't you think? It's about the choice. Do they? And do we choose fear or that most defiant of all hopes, love? So that's obviously we're all clearly have our own opinions and interpretations of the ending. That's just the authors. So it's just interesting to see. I'm not saying that to change your opinion on anything, but I just thought that was interesting. And I like that he has a feeling about it too, rather than just like, oh yeah, I just left it open-ended for shits and giggles so you guys could figure it out. You know what I mean? Because I feel like directors have said that about movies before too, and they're like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you how it ends just on purpose, just because. So I do like that he had a reason, it seems, for leaving it open-ended, which kind of goes along with what Des said. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. And I think a couple of you guys also mentioned it doesn't matter anymore at the end of the story whether the world ends or not. I think it let me down because I really needed to know if what was happening was real or in their heads. Yeah. Or it literally could have just been a bunch of crazy people showed up and were lying to them effectively. And just, it was all about terrorizing them. That also could have been the point. We won't actually ever know. Loathe open ending. This one had the most open ending ever. I do like that. Keep that in your brains that we like this quote from Paul, because I took that from at least in my copy, there is some notes at the back. It's like divided up by chapter, so it's like notes on each chapter it goes through. Not that he had to give a reason for everything he chose to do in the book, but I feel like just reading about Wen's death, I don't know, I didn't really see the point in it. Thinking about the chat for Needless Street, the chat is so chill. I feel like this is going to be another great discussion, though. This book has a lot to unpack, seriously. Just like Needless Street, honestly. That one has a lot to discuss. But since somebody already mentioned it before, how do we feel about Wen's death? Because this made me more mad than the ending. I'm not usually one to get mad at open endings anyway. Like I'm fine with them, but I know people have really strong feelings about the ending, but I'm like, I didn't see a lot of people talk about Wen's death in like discussion groups. Hi, Emma. Welcome. We already talked about the ending, so feel free to share your thoughts. Not what you would expect to come in, 25 minutes into a stream already. I was also devastated. And then like reading his notes at the back, he just like barely mentions it. Like he says shit like, I didn't want Wen's death to be the emotional climax of the book with another 80 or so pages to go. And maybe it is, I don't know, but at the very least I was fully aware of that potential issue. And then he just talks about like, and I thought about changing the POV up and stuff like that. And I'm like literally what was the point though? What was the point? And it happens in such a frustratingly normal way. And I don't know if that was the point, because it's literally when Leonard and I think it's Andrew are fighting over the gun. It's like something you would see in like those like PSA commercials about like kids playing with their parents' guns and stuff like that and getting shot, like don't mess with the gun. It's not a toy. It's like that's what it felt like. It's such a frustratingly normal way for what was going on. You have like four people here saying that the world is ending and you got to kill one of you guys. One of you has to sacrifice yourself to stop it. And then she gets killed because two men are fighting over a gun. Had to go back and figure out if I read it right. Yeah. Yeah, it happens so quick too. And it's like you don't realize right away. It just like it says something like, and then Wen didn't feel anything anymore, something like that. It's really vague. And then you don't realize until like halfway through the like next paragraph that she got shot. Shocking and unnecessary, like trauma porn. Bury your gaze by proxy. I did not think of it that way, but now that you say it does. I guess the point is what he said about being the end of their world. Yeah, I guess. One of them could have also died that way, and that would have been the end of the. You know what I mean? Eric or Andrew could have died, and it would have been the same thing. Depressed you for days. Yeah, I was not a fan of this. Yes. So it was like the whole point irony or something. I don't. Ugh, strategically powerful. Okay, let me hear a different interpretation. The death of pure innocence in a biblically doomed world. How does anyone choose to save the world after that? Okay. Okay. I'm still not happy about Wen's death, but that's a very interesting interpretation of it. I like that interpretation of it. I think it adds a lot to the discussion they have at the end. I can't remember who says it. Something along like, if God won't accept her, we're not sacrificing us. So it kind of shocked me because if Leonard was a horseman of the apocalypse, why would he accidentally kill her if he saw the end of the world? Why would he lie about hurting her? That is true. That is true. Yeah, I didn't know. You make sense. Yeah. That is true. I guess at least him talking about like, saying he wouldn't hurt her. I guess he was just hoping one of her dads would sacrifice himself, which would hurt her though anyway. I don't know. Leonard's a little. They all know about the end of the world, but not a gun going off. Yeah, they know all these things. I guess they're not gifted with that sight, that kind of foresight. They don't know. I guess they don't know everything. I think they only knew. I think they. I don't know. I just assumed they were only shown what the end of the world could look like. I don't necessarily subscribe to that they knew exactly what was going to happen. And at least from like what they were reciting to them, it seems like they were just like fitting the stuff that was happening on the TV into like, like the sky falling, and they equated that to like the plane coming down. You know what I mean? Like they were just trying to fit the events that they saw into into what they were told was going to happen. Yeah, I definitely see both sides of it. I think you make a really interesting point of that Loch Ness, and I think it hurts more because we start off with Wen too. I don't know if that's how you feel about that too, Colleen. Um, that we start off with her, and it's such you get such like rich character building for her, and then for her to die like so suddenly and so abruptly. Um, it sucks, but it goes with that, that killing of innocence, which is like something you hear all the time. People get into arguments all the time online about faith, I guess that we're going to talk about because Eric is the one who believes in God still, I think, if I'm correct. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Um, but there are people getting into arguments all the time, like if God is all powerful and all omniscient, why does he allow these awful things to happen, like insert every terrible thing that's ever happened. And that would definitely play into it. So I can understand that point of view from like Eric and Andrew. Like, if that's not already enough of a sacrifice that this innocent little girl died, then fuck him. Isn't the news just doom and gloom? Yep, all the time. Well, you should have read Needlessry with us, honestly. You need to retroactively start reading my picks. I think making everybody read The Last House on Needlessry has been my greatest achievement so far. Um, I think that's part of for me too. Yeah, I just got attached. She was the best character. The best character. She was the best of all of them. She wasn't cuckoo crazy. Eric is evangelical. There you go. Yeah. Andrew is angry. This is a novel about how much of a mind fuck religion, indoctrination, and cult mindset, and how those things are exacerbated by the media. I think having the most innocent one. Mm. Yeah, I think especially if you're talking about like the death of innocence and things like that, that just seems to go along well with religion talk, doesn't it? Especially if we're talking about Christianity. That tends to be a a theme we hear a lot. Just can't get past the core of the plot. No God that created the universe would decide to destroy it completely unless a family is willing to kill one of themselves. That is true, but this is also a God that, in one of the stories you hear told, who is it, like Abraham to go up on the mountain and kill his son, and that was like, wait, just kidding, just kidding. That's definitely minimizing it a little bit, but that's what I remember from Sunday school. So, but that is like, again, yeah, for like an apparently omniscient, all powerful God to like, it has to be just this one random family that has to choose to make the sacrifice to save the entire world seems like somebody is just playing a little biblical game here. Oh my god. Eric God Squad, Andrew Gun Squad. Totally think it's just about the during, not about the plausibility. Definitely a great way to highlight the ridiculousness of God. Yeah, I agree. I agree. That could be a whole soapbox. I could get on a whole soapbox about that. I guess since we're kind of veering in this direction anyway, what did we think about Leonard's group? Like the group here. I'm just gonna call it Leonard's group. Like, did they see like how did you feel about them? Did they seem like well organized, like sure in their purpose? Did it like how did that add to the story or like not? Because I don't think they were very organized at all, or how did it play into the plot for you? Like, did you believe them? Because I'm fully on team the world was not ending. And these are just like crazy cult members that when it like went to terrorize people. That's my interpretation of them. Oh, I know. Okay, but I don't know if I should because it's you. I don't know if I should say blood sacrifice. Thank you for the nightmare fuel and the blood sacrifice. I'll do both. The blood fuel sacrifice nightmare. The intensity of their belief made them absolutely terrifying. That's true. And something that is something we've seen and could be afraid of in real life. Absolutely, honestly. Yes. Very unorganized, need to workshop it. Ooh. Ooh, do you want to explain, Chet, how that had to be the case? Just curious, not trying to like be a teacher. Explain or answer, Chet. I'm just curious as to what your reasoning is like that. It had to be the case that they were a mess. The group and the vision was the most annoying part. Wanted so much more information. How they joined up and linked, all that. Yeah. Sabrina gave us an idea, but I wish there was more. Yeah, that's true. I mean, at least thinking about the ending, probably not his Tremblay's. I mean, by his thing to give us all the answers here. Spouse who read this as well says the power of your own created reality is absolute. Damn. I mean, that's like the tagline. That could just be the tagline of their group, I think. Like on all their like club hats and t-shirts, that's what it says. Absolutely. I completely agree with that. Can't help but think if they were receiving visions from God, were there more people that got them until finally these four took the bait? Maybe. Maybe. It's quite possible. I think these were they were escaped lunatics. Also on team, world was not ending. I think that's what made the book terrifying. Something like this could easily happen because of group mentality. I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that. And maybe it's just because I'm really scared by like home invasion stuff already that I just automatically think like, no, the world is not ending. It was circumstantial, all circumstantial. And how do you even know what was happening on the TV was live? We don't. And shitty stuff happens all the time. They literally could have just said, oh, I was shown that the sky is falling just because they happened to see a plane coming down on the news. Yeah, it's not it for me. Yeah. I think the reality of it, like you said, like group mentality and group think that is real and that is terrifying. They were all compelled by fear rather than conviction in this. Ooh, yeah, they were, absolutely. Because they believed, yeah. I mean, it just goes back to what Colleen quoted here. Yeah, the power of your own created reality. They convince themselves through fear, and fear is a hell of a drug. It is a hell of a powerful drug. Case in point, I mean, just I don't know, look at what happens in the United States like every other week. Fear is really powerful and can get you to do some terrible fucking things if you get people scared like that, honestly. If they were more organized and cohesive, it would undermine their narrative. I feel like the details that are missing are the answer to what was happening. Well, yeah. You could just tell us everything, Paul. I'm going to email him after this. You'd have to a word with you, Paul. I did not like that there were only one of the 4 people that they had previously had connection to. I thought it would have been cooler. But is it confirmed that what's his name? Redman? I don't remember what the other guy's name is supposed to be. That Andrew thinks, or was it Eric? Oh my god, I really cannot tell those two apart. Redman. I can't remember the other name of the guy who he thinks he is. I don't know that. O'Bannon. That's what I just happened to turn to a right page. Yeah. I don't know if that was confirmed though. Or if that's just like another thing that we don't know. Reading the story is absolutely believing the world was ending, but if these 4 were in my living room, I wouldn't believe what they were saying, Team Andrew. That is true. I mean, you could probably convince me on any other day that the world is ending. I'd be like, yeah. Yeah, it 1000% is. But yeah, you're right. Like for what I would interpret definitely as religious, like nut jobs, like fanatics in my living room, yeah, I would not believe anything that they were saying. Yeah, it's like it's group mentality, you know, you can get enough people. Look at any cult in the history of ever. You can get tons of people to believe anything, and basically it's just shared delusions. Yeah, they seem like genuinely nice folks mainly. I guess some of them maybe. They just all seemed really afraid, and that's what scared me the most about them. Interesting considering QAnon. I mean, yeah. And was his involvement coincidental or not? Also that. Also that. Also agree with that. Yeah, that's okay. I just saw something. Oh my god, you guys are typing so fast. I'm trying to get through everybody's comments. Goodness. Thank you very much, Colleen. Thank you for the nightmare fuel. Thank you very much. Typing fast. Sorry for typing. It's okay. I can read through the typos. It's just I'm trying to read everybody's comments. Everybody has such awesome, insightful things to say. I'm just trying to read all the comments, and I see it like keep ticking down. I'm like, I know, I gotta keep up. The fact that only 4 people across the fed into this. Yeah. I'm on team whoever said it earlier that the other people were probably maybe possibly recruited, and these are the 4 that like really took the bait. I think they knew each other. Like the group knew each other before this, or that Redman was O'Bannon. And it is okay not to know something. Just because I can't debunk or completely explain something doesn't mean a given explanation is truth. Yeah, that is true. The fa- what can I say? Guys, start typing like crazy stuff that I can read out loud. Love Paul's writing because he doesn't feel the need to tell you everything. Whenever I read this book, I can't stop thinking about them because of this. Yeah, I do like how open-ended it is. I think this discussion is like the clear reason why why it's more fun like this. Maybe sometimes, maybe not all the time. I don't think I would want all my books to be this open-ended, but Bannon thing is not confirmed. But why not err on the side of believing that he recognizes a former aggressor? That's true. That's true. I guess it's just one of those things too. It's like, yeah, another thing. Like it's a crazy phenomenon that it happens to be this cabin at this exact moment where like a sacrifice needs to be made to save the world, and like it just so happens that these two people that have already met before are there. You know what I mean? Really? Nothing to say, just along for the ride. I mean, you're talking to me. I'm just reading everybody's super insightful comments, guys. Also, just wanted to mention here. Oh my god, there's 7 grasshoppers in the jar and 7 people total. Holy shit! I didn't even think of that honestly. My brain was all like, I knew bad stuff was gonna happen. So at the beginning, I'm just like, everything's sunshine and rainbows. Look at Wen collecting grasshoppers. Have no insight, but I like that. You know, I think it could have just been as deep as she catches 7 grasshoppers in a jar, and then these 7 people are trapped inside a cabin at maybe the end of the world, maybe not the end of the world. Oh, sorry. I'll read yours in a second, Des. Redmond got them together for revenge. Hmm. I don't know if Redmond came across as that organized to me, personally. That'd be a hell of a revenge plot, though. Like, goddamn. Speaking of QAnon, this could read as a metaphor for current events in the US, which are not at all terrifying. Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah, you could. I'm thinking, how much do I want to get into this on the internet? Especially with Emma. I hope you haven't put headphones in it yet. But absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Just look at what I'll just go ahead and say it. Like the far right is doing in the United States. Like could easily make this like a metaphor. Leonard's group is the far right, and Eric and Andrew and Wen are just all of us regular people at the fucking mercy of these people. It's just all groupthink. It's the same thing. There's more in the movie about like, ooh, interesting. Okay. We had like the briefest, like there's a few people in the chat that have seen the movie already. I haven't yet. I'm gonna go see it on Tuesday, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's different though about it. Oh, if the grasshoppers all died and the grasshoppers represent all the people, maybe all the people die, and maybe Andrew and Eric died too. Maybe. It's possible. Anything's possible. The ending is so open. The world could have actually been ending. And so they, maybe they drive off into the apocalypse. Who knows? Redmond being an idiot was all an act. Again, I completely possible. That would be a very unhinged revenge plot to come up with this whole like side story of like we're gonna be the four horsemen of the apocalypse, guys. I don't know who wrote the screenplay. That sounds like a question for Google. Chuck. Totally off topic. They said they made Leonard a giant dude. I didn't really think a lot of it because most of I mean, like just when I think of Leonard in general, I think of Wen talking about him and like describing him, and of course to Wen, he is huge because she's just a little kid. Um, so when she describes him in the book, it's like he's a big man to her. Um, so I don't know if maybe it's kind of just to convey his like presence and the way Wen sees him maybe in the movie. That's just me basing that off of the fact that I know it's Dave Bautista playing Leonard. We need to meet again after everyone has seen it. Maybe we'll devote the beginning of next Creepy Book Club. We'll devote, the first however much time to talk about the movie. Leonard was giant in the book. I don't know if he was actually giant in the book or it's just Wen's description of him because obviously he's going to be bigger than her. Me flipping in the beginning of the book. Let's see. But then when we first meet him in the book, this is also from Wen's point of view. I mean, she already says Wen is not a good judge of height as all adults exist in that cloud-filled space above her. And he's as wide as a couple of tree trunks pushed together. That's the description. At least from Wen's point of view. Again, a little girl, so. Mostly tall. I feel like mostly she just keeps mentioning how tall he is. Daddy Bautista, stop. My mom says Leonard in the movie wasn't big enough. So we motivated to prolong a life without my person. That's why I was kind of going off of that Eric and Andrew would be like a murder suicide at the end. That's where I thought it was going to go because I thought they would be so upset that, like what's the point? Because Wen is not there anymore that like I don't give a fuck what happens to the world. Because even if the apocalypse wasn't happening, this is taking place in the United States, so the world is going to end here anyway. So. Oh, essentially, it's the trolley problem. That's true. It really, yeah, this book really is the trolley problem, though, isn't it? Yeah. Except it had to be a willing sacrifice, though. So one of them, at least according to the group, which is why Wen didn't count as like the sacrifice to save the world. And I guess why, like Andrew, couldn't just like murder Eric when he wasn't looking or something and also end the world. I don't know if that would have counted. Would that have counted? I don't know. Let me put myself in the mindset of this group. Would that have counted? Don't actually know. I didn't think they would want to give whatever God the satisfaction. Also, that's true. I am a pretty petty person, so I might feel the same way too. It's like, you know what? Let the apocalypse happen. I'm gonna go get some popcorn. You're not gonna get a sacrifice out of me. Go terrorize somebody else. If I was on Team Apocalypse, which I'm still not. I'm on team that group was crazy and the world wasn't actually ending. But oh, I just watched the world burn if I was them. I feel like that was like the mentality. Like if the world is actually ending, we're just gonna watch it happen. Amen. Oh, excuse me. Amen. Already how I feel. Yep, exactly. I'm a pretty petty person. I feel like we should say I'm a pretty, petty person. I'm pretty and I'm petty. I'm pretty and I'm petty and I'm pretty petty person. New tongue twister. I think Wen's death was useless because if she would have lived, then the dads would have had more of a reason to save the world for her. But ooh. Huh. That is true. That would have been interesting to see how the ending would have played out then if Wen was, yeah, if Wen was still alive, because you would think that yes, that they would maybe eventually get broken down to the point where one of them would have sacrificed themselves, even at the most, just to put like have the potential to make this group go away and leave them alone, even if they still didn't believe that the world was going to end. That's true. That is true. The sun is going to be crushed on its own anyway. But maybe that was Paul Tremblay's point, Catherine. Maybe, I don't know. Like the idea of like what's the point of saving the world if the innocent kids growing up in it aren't gonna have a chance anyway? I don't know. I think if one lived, they would have had an even clearer head and still wouldn't kill one of them. Also, they don't want to traumatize her anymore. That's true. There is also the possibility, if they had stayed, because they do kind of have that little bit of conflict going on, I guess, where like Andrew thinks Eric is like starting to like believe them, because of his religious background. But could they not have just waited it out? Because for, every day that they don't sacrifice one of themselves, one of the four gets killed, right? So theoretically, if they had just waited it out, because it had to be a willing sacrifice, so one of the four like horsemen or whatever couldn't kill them, they would have just all killed themselves, right? Right. And then either way, they'd be free of those people, even if the apocalypse started. But best case scenario, four crazy people take the trash out themselves. They could have just waited it out. That might have been what I would have, like, if I, as soon as I realized, that they went and killed one person off, I'd be like, oh, this is going to be a thing. I'm just going to sit here and wait because I don't believe the world is ending. Just wait things just wait things out. Things suck anyway. I think if Wen had lived, they would have had a reason to take the chance of saving the world. That's, yeah. They definitely would have had a reason. I don't know if, because I mean, Andrew was pretty set on being very level-headed that it was not the end of the world, but I feel like he was kind of setting it up that they were both gonna eventually kind of be like on either side of where Eric was like, well, maybe the world is ending. And Andrew's very on team, like, it's not ending. These are just crazy people. So I think that would have been driven further than if things kept going on, honestly. I think Andrew saw this as a hate crime and believes they would be killed either way. Maybe. That was the goofiest thing. If I don't kill the love of my life, you'll all kill each other. Don't threaten me with a good time. That's too funny. I don't know. I might have waited it out after I realized they were going to start killing each other. I might have waited it out just to see. Or at the very least, just wait until the numbers have dwindled enough to where you can maybe take them on and fight them and kill them. But I mean, right at the beginning, I don't think there's really much they could have done because there was four of them versus two of them. Cool. That might have been like the fastest hour we've had on Creepy Book Club. Holy moly. What did you guys rate this book? I know the numbers are arbitrary, but what did we all rate it? Just to kind of wrap it up, and then we can talk about what else, quickly talk about whatever else we read this month. We'll definitely have dedicated book versus movie discussion time for the next one, though. Don't worry. Excuse me. I don't remember what I rated this actually. 6 out of 10. Oh my God. Everything's made up and the numbers don't matter. Or did I not rate it yet? I don't know if I didn't. I might not. I might have held off on. Oh no, I did. 3.25 I gave it. I think the hype was, hi Shauna. Just pop right in to give you a rating, or are you just lurking? I think for my first Tremblay, I think the hype might have gotten the better of me a little bit here, but 4.75, 4 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 8 out of 10, 5 stars, 5 out of 10. Wow, it's really all over the place. Time is a construct. Amen, sister. Can't stop thinking about it, and I finished 3 other book sets. I'm excited to read another one. Maybe I'll try Head Full of Ghosts next, maybe. That was my issue with the illustrated. I definitely contributed to the hype machine on that one. So you know what? I'm not going to say anything about the hype for books anymore. I did not. But if anyone in the chat did, I did not listen to the audiobook on this one. If this had made me cry like The Last of Us episode 3, it would have been a 5 out of 5. I have not started that. Bad narrator? Aw, that's a shame. The trash. Emma's slightly behind comments. Probably because she's driving and her signal's probably bad. Head full of ghosts will change your life. Not to you, Maddie. Okay, that's the bar now. That's the bar now, Maddie. It better change my life. If it can make me stop thinking about the last house on Needless Street, then you win. Oh my goodness. Okay, what else did everybody read this month? What else did everybody read this month? Oh, sorry if I keep reaching for the water. I'm not hydrated today. What else did everybody read this month? Or up until this point? Also, would God not let them leave the cabin? I don't know. It's God we're talking about here. Oh, you read the Final Girl Support Group? What did you think? I bought that. I'm gonna read it on my time off this week. I have a whole week of paid time off, and How to Sell a Haunted House is on my list. Oh, that is a name. Moon of the Crusted Snow. Currently finishing up Don't Fear the Reaper. Nice. I just saw that at work. It was on the cart to go out this Tuesday. Oh, you read Babel? I should put that on my list for this week too and finally get that. I didn't read too much, but I'm gonna give myself a pass because Priory of the Orange Tree was one of the things I read, and this book is fucking massive. So I think I get a pass for not reading a whole lot else. Because damn, I mean, holy fuck. I wanted to get it done before the prequel, but read it close enough so that I can remember everything. 6.5. Emma, I love your slightly delayed comments. I thought Priory was great. I've not read a lot of high fantasy, but I feel like this is like high fantasy. Like holy shit. I was really intimidated going into it. I thought I was like not going to be able to follow anything or remember any of the characters, but the characters were like so well written. I loved all of them. I loved all of them. And I love the take on the different religions too. I think ultimately how it ended was really nice. But I loved it. I can't wait to read the prequel, honestly. It's because she lives in Australia. I think it's well, she said she was getting in the car. I think her signal's probably just a little wonky while she's in the car. February, I'm reading a whole bunch of Junji Ito. Nice. Nice. I don't know which ones you're going to read specifically, but I hope you have fun. I love Junji Ito. No One Gets Out Alive and Final Days. Oh, I think I've read Final Days. Final Days, Adam Neville. Last Days, Adam Neville. I've read that one. That one was really good. Also, cult vibes. And Flowers in the Attic. Oh God, Flowers in the Attic. Let's see what else. I did read also Audition for Does This Offend You? If anybody watched that, I want to scrub this book from my brain, honestly. Okay, her bingo list. I gotcha. Watching a bunch of J-horror. Nice. Yeah, I know she does that every year. Scared of Babel. I feel like I won't be smart enough. Oh, but I love like anything like in the vicinity of dark academia, so I'm very excited about that. Flowers in the Attic is that video is my arch nemesis. Oh, no worries. That's what Google is for. I went to go Google it with the title to see the cover. I have read it. It is really good though. Let's see. I read 2 other books too. I did read a nonfiction. Look at me go, doing my New Year's resolution. I read the Edward Gorey biography because I just love his art so much, and so I wanted to learn about the guy who loves the attic. That video on my channel is doing really well for all the wrong reasons, probably. I also did read another Katrina Ward. This is the last thing I read. That was it. I did read Sundial. Not as good as Needless Street, but Homegirl has a thing for childhood trauma. I'll tell you what. Holy shit. Uh, holy shit. And experiments. And weird fucking disturbing experiments. I found that's the linking themes here. That was one I was not expecting to make a comeback in that. I was like, okay, trauma. Okay, that's a theme, but not the experiments. I didn't know what to expect from Sundial, but it was still really good. Still really good. Okay, talk to you later, Emma. I do have some knit cutter on my TBR I haven't gotten to, like the troop, and I think I have the deep also that I haven't gotten to. But I think Hell followed with us. Maybe a good creepy book club pick. Okay, I'll keep it on the list for next round, you know. Oh my god, I can't type. Can't type. I'm writing. Oh my god, Vicky. Just goes to show I needed the paid time off this week. My brain. It's all good. It's all good. That's so funny. It added flavor to the chat. You're all good, Emma. Like Sundial more than Needless Street? That's fine. I can't wait to read. I have Little Eve, I think, to read from her also, and then she has her new one coming out this year. So just a full-on Katrina Ward fangirl at this point. I was like, why is everyone making I don't think it was everyone. I think it was just me. It was just me. I just figured your signal was bad. You're fine. Oh my god. Red Needless. Yep. I'm so happy I made everyone read it. Like I said, my finest achievement. Creepy Book Club was making everyone read that book. I regret nothing. Regret nothing. Oh. Okay, just to wrap it up, because not that we have to be an hour long, but that's usually about where we go. Loch Ness is now banned from this book club. No. All good. It's all good. Hell, I'm waiting. There could be one I read by her at one point that I like better than Needless Street. The possibilities are endless. Just really quick, our next book club book, if you haven't grabbed it already, I know it's a short month, slightly shorter month, but we're currently reading White Horse by Erica T. Worth. And once again, that Google Doc, which is just for people like you guys that show up to the streams, it should be pinned to the top of the chat. And it has the list of all the upcoming book club picks also. And I'll make sure to start adding in discussion stuff about Whitehorse. There's just potential spoilers. So before you keep scrolling on the document, make sure you've read the book first. And then just in case you wanted, nice to just drop this in there every so often. So you can see March's book, which is a YA horror, The Honeys, by Ryan LaSala. So that'll be next after Whitehorse, which I've already started. I'm like on chapter 9, I think, and it's really good so far. I'm digging it. 40% through Whitehorse, and I'm obsessed. Okay, yeah, I really like it so far too. I can't wait to keep getting into it. It's fun. Oh, glad you're enjoying Whitehorse too. Okay, I'm glad we got some people already reading it. Excited to talk about it. Stay tuned for when that live will be, and like I said, we'll devote some movie versus book for Cabin at the End of the World time at the beginning of that stream, just so we can have that discussion too. American Peeps Mothered is an Amazon pre-first read. I'm not sure what that means, but that sounds cool. I know that's the new Zoya stage, and that we're reading for. What are we reading for? May. I don't know what a pre-first read is, though. You may have to define that for me real quick. Let me know in the Discord, Shauna, what that means. We're gonna go for this year. Okay, we'll hold you to it. All right, you guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for an awesome discussion. Seriously. Have a good night /day wherever you are, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.